This is my dad's favorite food. Handmade Korean noodles in anchovy broth, served preferably at a market stall with creaky wooden benches, like his favorite spot near a local supermarket in eastern Seoul. And you don't need a pasta machine or a fancy stand mixer. You just need a measuring cup. And maybe a rolling pin. Now my dad likes his noodles chewy and firm, which means minimum moisture, maximum gluten. And that means 2 cups of strong bread flour, just under a cup of water, and a pinch of salt. Mix until you get lumps like that, then knead for a good 5 to 10 minutes so we really develop that gluten. When the dough is smooth, leave to rest for an hour. This is a must. And as the dough rests, we'll make 겉절이, aka 10-minute kimchi, the only accepted accompaniment to hand-cut noodles. Take your napa cabbage leaves, cut in any shapes you like, toss in a tablespoon of salt, and let it sit for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you'll see a pool of cabbage water at the bottom, which you'll need to drain out completely. And now comes a trade secret. For restaurant-style 겉절이, don't skimp on the garlic and the seasonings. A generous tablespoon of minced garlic, fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, a little honey, a pinch of MSG. And right before serving, a drizzle of sesame oil and a sprinkling of sesame. Back to the dough. Let water and time do its thing, and voila, the dough is soft, smooth, and workable like my anyhow. Now for the fun bit. Plenty of flour on your board, and first roll your dough into a sheet. Doesn't have to be pretty or even particularly thin. More flour on the board, and just gently roll the whole thing like you're removing lint from the world's dustiest sweater. Begin with your hands at the center, and gradually move each hand to the sides. Do this a couple of times with a dusting of flour during each roll, and you'll have yourself a blanket of dough. Now fold that dough with a good dusting of flour again on each layer. Grab your sharpest knife and cut across the sheets as thin or as thick as you like. And there you go, you have yourself a handful of fresh noodles. Boil up some water with a packet of anchovy stock and drop in your noodles for about 2 minutes. And no, I'm not putting in anything else. I mean, you could use beef stock, load it up with clams and zucchini, throw in some dumplings, or add in some gochujang and potatoes, but for me and my dad, the noodles by themselves are more than enough. And you don't need a fancy bowl either, because for some reason, this is always served in a stainless steel bowl with a few negligible pieces of scallions. And this is literally my lunch for the day, so yes, no need to clean the kitchen counter either. Just a whole lot of satisfied slurping, spicy and crunchy kimchi, and a glug of that starchy broth. Summertime.